Hey everybody, what is happening? Ish here. Gonna get the PDL ready for run tomorrow. Just gonna wash off the inside. I actually got a bunch of mud that dried up in there, and I don't want to deal with that tomorrow. So we're gonna get it cleaned up, and then I'll show you the rigging on how I'm gonna have this set up to run.
Let me tell you something about respect. Let me tell you something about respect. What? Let me tell you something about respect. What? Let me tell you something about respect.
See, I've got the Railblazer pole up there, which was actually a visibility kit. One of the top actual connection pieces, pole slid down. It was against the wall, slid down on the ground, which is just tile. Popped one of those off, which really sucks. That's what keeps them up there. I kind of had to glue one in place. About 2.5 months in the light, you can't even click this thing in anymore. Just totally busted. I mean, I always thought this was a bad setup to begin with. This knob was weak to start with, so not really good reviews on this product, unfortunately. But that's what we got. All right, well, I want to go over just a few of the things before I rig it up that really don't need to be rigged to show. And the seadek here, this foam installation, I got one of the larger sheets that they offered, and it probably was about $85 on eBay to get this size. I'll post it in the description exactly the size so you know what it is, but it's just the way I made multiple cuts here. I was able to get one sheet, and and then if you're really smooth about it, you don't have to waste. With scraps and all that, you just have to really plan ahead the way you cut it. You can get a whole, like I say, a whole sheet will do your boat. But got the back and all that soundproof. This stuff on the side here, the only reason it's got wear on it because I put my straps over this, and that's why this is just like one piece. I can always replace these pieces right here. They get chewed up or they might get pulled off a little bit, I'm not too worried about these. But as far as the deck and all that, I've had no issues with anything like that. I say, in Arizona, obviously, it gets nice and hot in the summertime, so I do not want to be burning my feet since I go barefoot a lot. But that's that end of it. If you're new to these units here, we've got already a battery in here, battery bag in here, so you're set up, good to go. I got to pull that out and charge it up for tomorrow. But the hatch I've had no issues with as far as water coming in and all that. Very good, very good. Their hatches on the Vapor that I had before, same thing. I want to get into these. These are tackle webs. I'll show you what I use it for once I get the chair and everything set up exactly. But if you want to install these, this is what you're looking at. You just pretty much, that's it. Line these up. Really simple installation. It's got good tape on the back of these. It's going to hold up. So obviously you can put minor things in there, but again, I'll show you what I'm using it for. And then here, this is the new rudder control knob. This comes with the brand new, the series under this is the cheaper ones, actually, the Topwater PDL, the new series that came, and they finally got these out. It took a while, but they finally got them out. Very simple installation. If you have the PDL unit, I simply just had to unscrew this, pull it out. There's a wire that's connected in here, and it's locked into another nut. You'll see it. You can pull up a video to do this. I'm not going to show you exactly, but it's very simple. 5 minutes, screwdrivers. As long as you don't have any issues with your with your screws, you're gonna be fine. But this is gonna lock in that rudder. So obviously on the other side you've got the rudder control. That's down, and now through here. Very simple. But again, when you have current stuff, you can just tighten this down, lock it in place, and it's not going to be moving on you, because that can be really annoying, especially I'm standing up trying to fish and the rudder's constantly getting blown left or right, because of the current. So all right, now I'm going to get this thing rigged up. All right, simple Helix, Humminbird Helix 5 model, closeout sail. That's I mainly, when you're fishing topwater and all that, I'm just looking at depth. But this season right now, I'm gonna have to actually learn how to use this thing. I got the battery off right now, so I'm not gonna go into it. But the PDL drive here, original hatch. Again, we did the foam on the top of that also. don't really store too much in there. I need a box that will fit. I still want, you know, it's watertight for the most part, but at the same point, I'd want something still protected if it was in there. Over here, again, you got fish grips, and this is why I'm saying I don't really use a ton of things in here, because the way I have the fish grips, I have them hooked up, you know, through the seat, through the bar on the seat, and I don't want ever all this cord laying around on here. You know, you can get your foot caught in it, something like that. So it's one of these where I just really use this just to tuck in whenever I'm not using them. Just make a point to always get the stuff put away. You know, I don't want loose, you know, really in kayaking, you don't want loose cords ever around. So I like this setup. Like I say, you just have to keep in mind to be clean about your set, you know, and then obviously pliers. I'll put some scissors in here, but not, you know, I don't want anything sharp on the end. So they have some good, you know, ones that are rounded off there, and I'll stick those in here. I just don't want to be messing up the net, obviously. All right, here for storage, you know, of course, you've seen these, you can go under the seat, and I'll normally put whatever, my shoes or a drink or whatever, you know, under there. And you know, you got tackles, so I'll put a smaller plano up in here. I'll also sometimes keep, you know, one of them waterproof boxes, and I'll put some of my, you know, if you have to put your wallet, any of that, same thing, and I'll just strap that up. You know, if I want to strap that up, I'll strap it up here, and again, tuck the cord away on this side. You know, your scupper plugs, one way on that. Underneath here, now, got Gorilla Tape running underneath, just on the areas that I typically will scratch. It's not 100% necessary, because you're going to scratch them up anyway, and it may lose a little bit of speed also. You might, you know, you're obviously going to get some more drag on that, but at the same point, I don't care too much about that. I'm just trying to protect the investment as much as possible. I just got the Carlisle Predator angler paddle. You know, I wanted one that at least was designed for this, you know, even though really not using it is shallow water. Pretty much is the only thing that, you know, taking off, coming in, I don't really have any water that's so shallow I'm gonna have to pull up the drive ever. And of course, if you do, I didn't lock the drive in, that'd be a good idea. So stand it up here. So when you're locking it in here, if I come in shallow, all you really do is just gotta unlock it, leave it flat, so you can still pedal, and then if you hit anything, it'll pop it up. So it's one of those things, you know, if you keep it in mind, this drive is very simple. You know, no real worries about that. Unless, you know, if you're flying along and you hit a stump, I guess you're gonna have a problem there, but that's why I have a backup prop at least. Have that, and at least the wrench, and, you know, I mean, some of the parts in the bag here, I'll have the replacement stuff, you know, in case you do damage it, and you can hopefully fix something out on the water if I'm lucky. I don't think I have any of the screws though on hand, so might have to pick up some bolts to fix that. Let's see. Forward and reverse on this thing, instant change of direction. You'll hear a little swoosh if you're going fast and you go back the other way, but essentially that's what you're looking at. Very smooth going. So, and this is pretty hard, you know, you might take a couple knocks here and there, you know, but for the most part this thing's solid. These are easy to, you know, again, I think I had these somewhere, so I got to figure out where I place these, you know, these parts at, but very simple installation. You can pop this out after, you know, after you get home, see if you got, you know, if you get any line or anything like that stuck in here, which is, you know, you might do if you're trolling line and, you know, you're turning around and not realizing what you're doing. You get your line on the other side, you'll end up sometimes, you know, when you're especially new to using this, you might end up with some line in there. This was from my other kayak, so it's just the cheap version of the box. And again, so I'll keep a tackle bag in here. The big thing is just making sure you zip everything back up when you're done, obviously. Being careful holding it in and out. I can strap it down, both sides if I want, no problem. Depending on the conditions and all that, I might just roll with it, you know, like this all day, you know, once I get out on the water and stable. But, you know, if there's any any sign, or if I'm, you know, having to travel a distance or anything like that, you know, waves or anything, we just strap it up. I only probably use the outside one. I hate having anything behind me and out here, just the way I cast. You know what I mean? I just don't want to have to worry about that. You know, then I'll use this guy. But typically I leave the right side, you know, my right side open. Of course, these water socks, essential, man. This time of year, you get in, you can get into the water, and you know, they take on water like a wetsuit. They take them on, but your feet don't freeze. So really good this time of year. Definitely using those. And of course, you know, rocking the Sea Tug transportation. You know, this is the Railblazer company. I like this. It's nice. This can break down and fit in the front of the kayak, so I can roll this down on you know, some of the launches are long. I can roll it down there, take it apart, throw it in the front of the kayak, and then again just put it back together when I come in, and good to go. It is a minor pain to get the kayak on this sometimes, to back on it, so you kind of got to figure your own system out, but you know, you'll make it work. You make it work. You know, got to measure. That's easily slide that down in here. Behind the seat also, storage again. If you want your whatever devices you're carrying, you know, you got some extra room to put stuff. Let's say we got the Railblazer port in here, and then we come over to this. Now this is one of the places I like to keep a rod. Like I said, I like to have one on the side here, but you know, they have this, and this cord, you know, real sturdy, stable. I'm not worried about this slipping or any of that. And once you get this thing in, it's nice and locked in, it's tight. But your issue comes, you know, if you want to have a bait that's got, you know, like I say, I got some hooks, I got all that, but I got a hand, you know, I got steering here, you know, so you try to reach over this, that's no good. So it makes it really a pain in the ass to transport. You know, you don't want to have to pull. You can try and hook up over here, but you really want to do that, you know. So these are a nice option here. Bait glove, you know, simple. But either way, you know, I would probably do this obviously a little bit tighter with both my hands on this, but just the idea that now I can move around here without having to mess with that. So, and these are really cheap. Got a 2-pack for, I don't know, like $4 or $5. Sportsman's Warehouse. So if you got one of these models, this is really nice option here to get some of these if you want to carry your rod like this. You know, otherwise, you know, it's a pain. You worry about getting hooked and all that. I don't want to have to worry about that. All right, over here, you know, we got the landing net. These are like Bahimi little, I think they call them like that, when some like Bahimi, you know, covers, you know, I mean, they're rod holders, Bahimi holders, some weird thing like that is what I found it under on eBay. Very cheap though. I think I got them both for whatever, $5-6, whatever the deal was at that time. But net here like that, it's kind of, you know, it'll work. I've broken one of these before though. They're not, you know, I don't know if this material is obviously not the strongest, but it's nice to have it right here on hand. Of course, you have the small risk of, depending on, you know, how clumsy you are, of getting a hook in here, which I might do once a outing, you know, every couple outings or something like that. I might, you know, forget to pay attention. So it's the only downside to having this located here. But other than that, though, I'm not reaching behind me. I just pull down, easily pop this thing out when I'm up, and again, putting it back in place is very simple. So I mean, there's a couple other things you can use to hook it up, but that's what I have. Another thing here, I got some, what's this, like pipe cover in a sense there, that foam. So an electrical cover or whatever it is, and I cannot remember the size, so sorry about that. It was either 3/4 inch, I want to say, something like that. But a lot of people and myself, you know, this bar, especially if you're trying to reach behind you, this thing, it could be painful. So I just basically wrapped it down as tight as I could, so that way I can get the cover on the back. That's the only problem with this is, you know, it's kind of tight fitting for the Velcro. So if you're going to do that, but I do recommend it being worth it. And then I'm probably going to, you know, I normally run a pillow or something back in here just for myself. You know, I'm normally fine for a while, but over time, lower back feels it. So I might even get more like a lumbar pillow, you know, permanent little thing in here to strap around, perhaps even. That might be something I look at real soon getting. And we got another little easy to miss item. I even forgot I had this on here, but what are these on the Shark Tank or something? They're just line cutters. Things just Velcroed around here, but you know, I keep it right here. I guess you can pop it on your finger or whatnot, but just a little item, but it, you know, something that can come in handy, and it doesn't affect the use, you know, of sliding in, you know, this guy or not. So I'll keep it here for now and see how it goes. Alright, so that was just a quick rundown. I don't get too crazy, I guess, with the setup, you know, like I was saying, but there's some of the stuff in there, a couple of these items people might want to use, so you see how it is, you know, at least on the kayak, what it looks like. So thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you out on the water.